I think I appreciate the most about Nat is that he is a no-game surfer. He will surf when he needs to, and I appreciate it. Okay, so thank you, Nat, for that. You make me want to surf, even though I'm scared as crap to do it. And Ron, you are a awesome, amazing connoisseur when it comes to anime and games and wrestling and everything, and I just really appreciate it because we share those things in common. A lot of people don't know that about me, but I really love it, and those are things I appreciate about both of them most. And they're also fantastic men. They're really great. I would say my biggest hero in my life is my mother, obviously. Like, we can't go wrong with that.
Let's see. I will start with this gorgeous woman to my left. She has a bubbling positivity that is so contagious. It is such a joy to be around. There is just light when she walks into a room. I so appreciate that energy, especially on long, tiresome days on set where you just feel, like you want to go home. I think there is a fire that, warms both your heart and your humor, and I so appreciate that. Ron, I so enjoy just because he makes me look so much better, because his bar is so low that I can only be I can only be up here because of how down there he is. So that I really appreciate for Ron. And if I had to be serious, I would say I trust him implicitly. I feel like he is honest and endearing and sweet, and I know where I stand with him, and I can make fun of him and he can make fun of me, and we will still be bonded regardless of those terrible things he says about me. And for personal heroes, I would say I grew up watching comedy and enjoying comedy. So if I was going to say professionally, like who I look up to, I watched a lot of Saturday Night Live when I was a kid. I really loved Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. And in features, it was always Steve Martin, probably in The Jerk, that really inspired me.
Absolutely. For Michaela, it's that what I love about her personally is that she's a big nerd. Is big into video games, and I relate to that. Professionally, I love that she's such a great actor, and that it makes me want to deepen my craft when it comes to dramatic acting. And at the same time, I like how humble she was about coming into a new comedic space and not just being like, hey, I come from this Emmy award-winning shows and I know what I'm doing, but that she was willing to learn from some of us when it comes to comedically, like I learned from her dramatically. And then outside of that, recently, I went to a dinner, a Hollywood press event with Michaela, and one of the things that struck me is that I love how much other people love her and how much that they get from her achieving and how much that it means to them, and how she both accepts that and carries that gracefully, but at the same time focuses on just being herself and not having to represent for a whole group. And I think that is one of the most admirable things I've ever seen. Nat, oh God, I don't know.
Take your time, Ron. Take your time. We have upwards of 6 minutes.
Nat is one of the most talented improvisers I've ever worked with. Yes. He is both, you could tell that he's skilled both behind the camera and in front of the camera with the way that he can break down a scene and add to it very quickly. There were times where we were doing so well on the show that they would just be like, hey, we're going to do this other scene even though we didn't plan to do it today, and to just go from a cold read to like adding things to that scene and making it pop what happened so quickly with Nat. And it's something that I really enjoy. And then just as a person, it's like he's like a very, very older, uglier brother to me, who just gives me good advice and talks trash to me, but at the same time you can tell that he knows how great I am and basically needs me in order for his career to continue to survive. And then
We're out of time, Ron.
Oh, but I got to the last part. My personal hero is Lucille Ball. I love her. I'm a big fan of. She was the reason that I survived when I was a young person in Chicago. Having that type of viewpoint, I loved her just comedically, and then what she stood for as a person. So Lucille Ball is probably one of my biggest heroes.